Given the chance, I always try to visit this location early spring to photograph the amazing Flora here. Today I'm at a location called Bowman's Hill. It is just absolutely gorgeous here. It is one of my favorite places for springtime photography. Behind me are the bluebells, and they are in absolute full bloom right now and just absolutely gorgeous. It's always a tough time to gauge when they're going to be at their peak, and I think I have nailed it today. As you can see over my shoulder, there are just tons and tons of these. I'm going to try to do some macro shots and maybe a little focus stacking. There are a few other flowers around the area here. I'm going to put on the macro lens and see what we can do. As you can see in the foreground here, we have this beautiful field of wood poppies, which are the yellow flowers, and of course the bluebells. The colors just work so well together. I'm going to shoot with the OM Mzuiko 90mm, which is 180mm full frame equivalent macro lens. I'm going to try to get some broad shots, and then of course I want to try to hone in on some of the close-ups here. I think I'm going to set up on a tripod, probably do a little bit of focus stacking, but I do want to try to blend or complement these blues and yellows together. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I think I timed it right from the standpoint of this being peak right now. It's always difficult to do this, but I think we've got it here. Let's take a look. So here's the setup. I'm shooting with the OM1 Mark II, and I have the 90mm macro lens on here, and I'm trying to focus in on the bluebells right now. Mother Nature's giving me a little bit of a hard time. We're having some wind that I was hoping we could avoid here, but in any event, let's take a look at this. I'm doing focus bracketing and have it set for 40 images right now, only because I want to get a little bit greater depth of field. Let's see if we can catch a few of these. So here are my settings. I'm shooting at 160th of a second, 40 images. These are all being focus bracketed. I'm at 6.3 on the aperture, and I'm shooting at 200 ISO. The challenge I've been having here is the wind has been picking up periodically, but it looks like we might have a little pause. So I am using the wireless remote, and right now the wind has stopped. So let's see if we can't. Of course, the minute I hit the shutter release, the wind picked up again. And it looks like it's paused. I'm going to give it another try here, and I think that one's going to work. So in any event, in post, I'm going to pull these all together, of course, and there may be some that I will pull out because I want to work on the depth of field. I want to focus primarily on the bluebells themselves, and if I'm pulling in too much of the background, I want to eliminate that. So I'm going to try a few of the wood poppies now and see how our luck is with that. Okay, so now I'm working on some of the wood poppies here, and just some beautiful colors. I'm going to try and get a couple shots of some of them that are closed, and of course some that are open. Still doing some focus bracketing because I want to get a good depth of field. On this one that I'm shooting right now, it is just getting ready to open, so I want to get the edge of the petals, of course, and the very center of this. So I think I'm going to stick with about 40 images again. Take a quick look and see if I need to readjust. Let's take a look. So I was talking with a couple staff members here, and they told me if I keep my eye open, I might be able to find some white bluebells. And I was fortunate, as I was just about ready to move on to another location, I stumbled across these. I'm going to try and get a couple shots of them. They're absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that they're white, I'm not sure if it still should be called a bluebell or not, but let's take a look. Over my shoulder is a man-made dam that they have here, and it's beautiful. It's a little on the dark side from the standpoint of there not being much color. I'm early in spring for this shot, but maybe I'll just take a couple pictures over here. It's absolutely pretty. Found this beautiful pond behind me, and there's some ferns. Actually, I'm gonna try a few like abstract type of arrangements where I get in close. Still gonna use the macro lens on this, but I do want to try to capture some of the broad base of this too. Let's take a look.
One of the reasons I love this time of the year is that all of the flora seems to be waking up from winter's sleep. As you can see, most of the flora is in their early stages of growth. A majority of these shots are focus bracketed or shot using the high-res mode. If you're enjoying this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Noticed this rather unassuming flowering dogwood, and I thought it might work better as a high-key image. I started to work my way up to one of my favorite sections of Bowman Hills, the area called New Pond. I used the Marsh Marigold Trail to get there. In addition to the flora, there is also plenty of fauna here if you keep your eyes peeled. But the star of the show for me is the spring house. I love how it is positioned amongst all of the flora.